for symptoms of rabies. Symptoms of rabies include wild animals showing no fear of humans and acting aggressively or appearing quiet and tame. The state public health veterinarian, Dr. Aaron Phipps, was quoted saying, "Rabies is deadly, but preventable. State law requires all dogs and cats be vaccinated against rabies. Unvaccinated pets exposed to rabies must be euthanized or strictly isolated for 4 months to prevent human exposure. If you see a sick wild animal or a wild animal acting abnormally, report it to your local animal control officer or the New Mexico Department of Game and Fish at 888-248-6866.
New Mexico health officials are warning residents to watch out for heat-related illness this week as temperatures are expected to exceed 90 degrees across much of New Mexico. The higher-than-average heat is looking to start up this Thursday, which is extremely early into the season. New Mexico is among 14 western U.S. states, including Arizona, Colorado, Texas, and Utah, expecting record-breaking heat. The chief of the New Mexico Department of Health's Environmental Health Epidemiology Bureau, Chelsea Eastman Langer, has stated, "Last summer, there were 834 heat-related emergency department visits around the state. Children, adults over 65, outdoor workers, and people with chronic health conditions are the most vulnerable, and they need to take extra care when temperatures climb." Some symptoms of heat-related illness include warm red skin that progresses to cold skin, a fast and weak pulse, nausea, vomiting, and stomach cramps, and tiredness, weakness, or dizziness leading to passing out. Make sure you stay cool and hydrated in preparation for these rising temps.
Speaking of rising temps, it's feeling more like summer, and we just totally skipped spring, honestly.
Honestly, it was needed because that wind and that chill on Sunday was crazy.
That was too much.
It was a fluke, honestly. I can tell you real quick, let's get into that heat later on in my first weather forecast. But for now, we're going to see our radar. No rain and precipitation, nothing in the air, just a little cloud cover down in the Lubbock area. It's a beautiful sunny evening here in Portales tonight. Let's take a look at that wind forecast. You're going to see a gust of 17 miles per hour tonight around 6 p.m. out of the northwest, and then into the evening, it's going to drop down. Early morning, you're going to see at 10 a.m. it's going to be 10 miles per hour, and then 11 a.m. it's also going to be 12. So not as windy as we've been seeing it. Let's take a look at current temperatures. Right now, we're sitting at 84 here in Portales, 81 up in Clovis, down in Hobbs, New Mexico, 82. Roswell's at 86, and then Rio Dosa's at 73. Take a look at our 7-day forecast that we were speaking about. It's going to be 95 on Friday with the low of 48, and then Saturday, we're pushing almost 100. It's going to be 98 with the low of 48, and then Sunday, 82. Next Monday is going to be a little bit cooler, 74, and then into next week, we're going to see 97 on Wednesday. Let's take a look at our allergy report. You're going to see that tree is a high, pollen is at low, and ragweed is also a low. So the further we get into the season, the more these allergy levels will be rising up. Let's take a look here at the next 3 hours here in Portales. 84 at 6 p.m. 7 p.m. is going to be nice and 77. And then 8 p.m. with clear skies. Moon is out at 68. And then tonight here in Portales, we're going to see 48, 49. Clear skies, winds out of the southwest at 8 miles per hour. So I'll have more of my full weather forecast about the hot temps and possibly no chance of rain, as I said, but back to y'all at the desk.
On Thursday the 12th, a woman in Texaco was arrested on 11 counts that are all related to embezzlement, according to court documents. 53-year-old Arid Beltradad Dressen was arrested and accused in Clovis, New Mexico of 11 charges, including 1 count of embezzlement, 1 count of fraud, 7 counts of forgery, 1 count of fraudulently obtaining a motor vehicle, and 1 count of altered, forged, or fictitious license. According to court documents, law enforcement was called to a business in Clovis in February on a possible fraud report. The owner of the business alleged that Dressen had forged their signature on checks that were deposited into her personal account, totaling $42,000. According to the affidavit, further audits by the company later discovered more potential alleged forgeries, totaling approximately $80,000. Documents also allege that Dressen used $15,000 of the stolen money for a down payment on a truck.
The Albuquerque Police Department has arrested 45-year-old Trinity Carlson for a deadly stabbing over a woman. Police say that witnesses at Freeway Liquors on 2nd Street saw Carlson and the victim get into an altercation that had to be broken up by the security guard, who had to deploy pepper spray. Shortly after this, Carlson chased the victim and attempted to grab something from his hip. Later that evening, a transit security officer found the victim with a stab wound near the intersection of Hannett Avenue and 3rd Street. He was rushed to the hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. When APD responded to the scene, they saw Carlson get into a vehicle and leave the area, which prompted a traffic stop. Carlson was identified and detained. Shortly after this, a warrant for his arrest was secured. Carlson is now being charged with murder and aggravated assault. Coming up after the break, Jane will have his full weather report.
But first, let's take a look at today's financial market.
Welcome back. I'm Jane Phillips, and I'm going to take you through the forecast today. As you can see, up in the northern part of the U.S., you're seeing some snow between Washington and the Toronto area. But in Atlanta, you're seeing a little bit of rain, precipitation, and up north towards the Portland area, a little bit of rain. The rest of the U.S. is clear skies, mostly with a little bit of partly cloudy skies to the Midwest and the western part of the U.S. Let's take a look at some current temperatures. Seeing 81 up in Farmington, in Gallup, 77 currently. Albuquerque's at 82 currently, and then down in south, you're in the 80s throughout most of the southwest. And then up in the northern part of the state, you're seeing 78 in Raton, 79 in Clayton. Here in the eastern plains, we're seeing 84 currently here in Portales. 81 up in Clovis. Santa Rosa's at 82, 86 in Roswell, down in Hobbs, 82 as well. And good old Lubbock, Texas at 82 as well. Let's take a look into Portales. Our day planner, 7 p.m. is going to be 77. 8 a.m. tomorrow morning is going to be 53 with a beautiful morning, sunny conditions. And at 5 p.m., you're going to see 81 with sunny conditions tomorrow. And then tonight here in Portales, we're going to see 49 with clear skies, winds out of the south-southwest at 8 miles per hour tonight. Moving on to that wind speeds, you're going to see winds between 8 or 10 to 20 miles per hour through the eastern plains. Not much wind is expected in our forecast into tonight. Tonight's low is going to be 40 up in Farmington, 33 in Gallup, 49 in Albuquerque, New Mexico, 48 in Santa Rosa. Down south, you're going to see 54 in Truth or Consequences. Down in Las Cruces, 51. Alamogordo is going to be at 51. And then in the capital, 46 up in Santa Fe. Raton's going to be at 40 and Clayton at 51. Here in Portales, we're going to see 47. Clovis at 45. 44 up in Tucumcari. Amarillo, Texas is going to be at 51, same as Lubbock. And then down in Roswell, 49. So we take a look at tomorrow here in Portales. We're going to see 93 as a daytime high, sunny conditions, winds out of the north-northeast at 6 miles per hour tomorrow. Tomorrow's highs, we're going to see 85 up in Farmington, 89 in Albuquerque, 84 in Santa Rosa, and then down in the south, it's going to be blistering, 91 in Alamogordo, 91 in Las Cruces, 95 in Carlsbad tomorrow. Here in Portales, we're going to see a hot 93, 92 in Clovis, and 92 in Tucumcari. Lubbock, Texas tomorrow is going to hit 95, and Amarillo is going to hit 91 tomorrow, and then Roswell at 93. Tomorrow night's lows, you're going to see a little bit cooler temperatures up in the north, but here in the eastern plains, you're going to see 40s, 49 here in Portales, 48 in Clovis, 42 in Tucumcari. Up in Amarillo, you're going to see 51, and then Lubbock, Texas at 49. Midland, Texas is going to be at 51. Let's take a look at some 7-day forecasts. We're going to look at Tucumcari first. We're going to see tomorrow at 92 with a low of 45, and then Saturday is going to hit 98 with the low of 52. Sunday is going to be a little bit breezy, 79 with a low of 39. And then next week, you're going to see 96 on Wednesday with a low of 49. Carlsbad, New Mexico, we're going to see 97 on Friday with low in the 51. And then Saturday, 98 with sunny conditions. And then Sunday is going to be 96. And then next Wednesday, you're going to see 98 with a low of 58. Roswell, New Mexico, it's going to be a little bit cooler than what we've been seeing. 95 on Friday. Saturday is going to be 96. And then next week, you're going to see 96 on Wednesday with a low of 55. Here in Portales, so we are seeing 93 tomorrow with a low of 46. Friday is going to be 95. Saturday is going to be 98 with a low of 54. And then next week, you're going to see Tuesday with mostly sunny skies, 93 at 46 as a low. And then next Wednesday is going to be 97 with a low of 52. So I'm not seeing spring temps up there. I'm seeing hot and summery temps.
Yep, those are getting warm.
Yep. Well, we'll have more news for you after this break.
Welcome back, sports fans. I'm Steven Shutton. Let's take a look at today's report. Let's start off in the diamond with Venezuela in the finals of the World Baseball Classic. This was the first time Venezuela has ever won the Classic in history. The Venezuelans beat the United States last night with a score of 3-2 in the final of the Classic at Lone Depot Park in Miami, Florida. Same place where the Miami Marlins play in the regular season. This was a tough loss for the United States, but good for Venezuela for winning their first Classic in the country's history. Suez's RBI double in the top of the 9th inning made Venezuela the go-ahead run in an electric 3 over the Titanic team United States. This win for Venezuela a good representation of what the country means to baseball. During spring break, the Eastern New Mexico baseball team were on the road against the Patriots of the University of Texas Tyler in a 4-game series. The Hounds' record is now 8-18 overall and the same in the Lone Star Conference. In the first 2 games of the series, the Hounds lost 4-9 in Game 1 and 3-15 in Game 2. On March 14th and 15th, the Hounds bounced back and won 6-4 in Game 3 and 6-5 in Game 4. In the last game of the series, Adrian Martin had the most hits with 3 hits, which made the Hounds win the game. The Hounds' next home stand is this weekend against the Lobos of Sul Ross State University with a doubleheader on Saturday and a tailgate on Friday starting at 2 p.m. The Lady Hounds were at home this past weekend as they hosted St. Mary's University and St. Edward's University. The Hounds' record is now 12-11 overall and 8-8 in the Lone Star Conference. The Hounds lost 1 game this past weekend and won 3 games. The games where the Hounds won were 6-4 in Game 2 of St. Mary's, 4-3 in Game 1 against St. Edward's, and 8-0 in Game 2 against the Hilltoppers. In the first game against the Hilltoppers, the center fielder for the Hounds, Seneca Arstrad, had the most RBIs with 3, which made the Hounds win the game 4-3. The Lady Hounds are on the road through March 28th, and their next home stand will be April 1st and 3rd. Lastly, dribbling into the NBA. Some of the games that are happening this evening is Golden State Warriors at Boston Celtics at 5 p.m., the Oregon Trail Blazers at the Indiana Pacers at 5:30 p.m., Oklahoma City Thunder at the Brooklyn Nets at 5:30 p.m., and the Utah Jazz at the Minnesota Timberwolves at 6 p.m. These are just a few of the games that are happening tonight in both the Western and Eastern Conferences in the NBA. And all those times are Mountain Standard Time. That's all the sports I have right now, but don't go anywhere because we have more news after this break.
NASA is making its final preparations for the long-awaited launch of the Artemis II space launch system. The new date for the Artemis II rocket rollout is this Friday, March 20th, to launch Pad 39B. This rollout will take anywhere from 10 to 12 hours. Following this rollout, the teams at NASA will start preparing for an early April launch window, currently scheduled for April 1st. Once launched, the crew will spend 10 days in space going around the moon. We will keep you up to date as the launch date approaches.
Are you getting ready for your wedding and dreading planning for the big day? Well, you're in luck. The Clovis Civic Center and Jocks on Wheels Entertainment is hosting their annual wedding expo this weekend. The event will be held on Saturday, March 21st from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. and the Clovis Civic Center. The wedding expo is slated to host a variety of vendors to help you prepare for your wedding, or if you just love to host a good party. Last year, 32 vendors helped others plan for their special days to make it perfect for them. At 1 p.m., there will be a fashion show, followed by some giveaways at 3:30 p.m. So, if you want to make your wedding stand out among the rest, stop by the Wedding Expo.
In Santa Fe earlier this month, a dog was diagnosed with the plague. This is the first animal plague case in the state in 2026. The New Mexico Department of Health reports the dog received veterinary care and has recovered. The plague is a bacterial disease. It circulates through wildlife and is commonly transmitted through flea bites. Symptoms of the plague in cats and dogs includes a fever, lethargy, and loss of appetite. There may be swelling in the lymph node area under the jaw. Symptoms of the plague in humans include a sudden onset fever, chills, headache, and weakness, and in a majority of cases, swollen, painful lymph node in groin, armpit, or neck area. A prompt diagnosis and antibiotic treatment greatly reduce the risk of death in people and pets. Physicians or veterinarians who suspect plague should promptly report to the NMDOH helpline at 1-833-796-8773. You can also text questions to 66364. Coming up after the break, we will see who the pet of the day is.
And take one last look at the weather, so make sure to stay tuned.
Welcome back. We get to see the dash cam footage of an ambulance that smashes into a building.
And an accident on a freeway leads to a sticky situation. All on today's Take a Look at This.
Take a look at intense dash cam video that shows the moment police say a stolen ambulance was rammed through an Idaho office building. According to KTVB, authorities say the ambulance was stolen in February from outside a Boise area hospital. Court documents reportedly allege the suspect stopped to pick up cans of gasoline before ramming the vehicle into the Meridian office building. The documents say the suspect poured the gasoline on the floor, and police say she intended to set the building on fire, but was unsuccessful and fled as authorities arrived. A Boise woman was later arrested, police say, and she's pleaded not guilty to all charges against her, including malicious destruction of property. Another unnerving dash cam moment, although this one purely by happenstance. Michigan State Police shared the moment a trooper witnessed a tree come crashing down right in front of his vehicle on a snow-socked road. The state police's 7th district had no shortage of weather-walloped scenes to deal with and shared lots of other downed trees and power lines, warning residents against unnecessary travel. But troopers have to be out and about, and this one was nearly in the wrong place at the wrong time, which, if you think about it, means he wound up in the right place at the right time. Think positive, people! Finally, speaking of being overly sappy, that's what caused a portion of a major Los Angeles freeway to be temporarily shut down after authorities say a truck carrying syrup overturned and spilled the sugary substance all over the place. KABC reports the westbound lanes of I-10 were closed for nearly 9 hours while crews got the sticky situation cleaned up, meaning this sugary sweet snafu left many commuters plenty salty. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Today's pet of the day is Dionysus the ball python. He is a little over 1 year old and he loves to get himself wrapped up in hair, as well as sunbathing and cuddling up under a warm light.
If you would like your chance to see your pet on News 3, email some photos of them to news3nm@enmu.edu, along with their name, age, and something you love about them.
Well, shall we take one more look at that final weather?
I think it's needed.
Yes, it is needed. Tonight in Portales, we're going to see 49 with clear skies, winds out of the south-southwest at 8 miles per hour. Our 3-day forecast, Santa Rosa is seeing today a daytime high of 84 with partly cloudy skies. Tomorrow's going to be 88, and then Friday's going to be sunny and 90. As we look into Roswell, it's going to be 88 today, 90 tomorrow, and then Friday was 92. Here in Portales, though, we are seeing 64, partly cloudy. Thursday's going to be 92, sunny, and Friday's going to be 94 with sunny conditions. So it's really starting to feel like summer.
And it looks like I'm going to have to get my little water wings because I'm ready to hit the pool.
Yes, summer came fast.
Yeah, it does. Pool sounds very nice. I'm thinking more of the beach, though.
Ooh, that would be nice. Really
maybe
enjoying
some
the
offshore
sun.
fishing, you know.
Yes.
Well, thank you for watching and good night.